Hello, I'm Clarion from Clarion Call Fiber Arts. Thank you to all of you who have reached out with positive feedback and reinforcement in response to my videos. I just love connecting with other fiber enthusiasts. You asked for it, and I aim to please. So here is another video detailing my Rolag method and the infinite possibilities of fiber and color combinations to inspire you on your blending board. Today, I'll be combining assorted colors of merino wool purchased at Paradise Fibers, Corriedale wool I dyed myself, merino and silk blends hand-dyed by Inglenook Fibers, and part of a braid also hand-dyed by Inglenook Fibers in their colorway, Color Me Happy. I specifically designed these Rolags to complement the hand-dyed braid, Color Me Happy, that I purchased from Inglenook Fibers. This braid has a specific color progression already established, so the colors I've chosen for these Rolags directly corresponds or accents the hand-dyed colors of the braid. I'm starting with a lavender merino because that's the first color represented in the hand-dyed braid. I'm continuing along the gradient with pink Corriedale wool I dyed myself, and now the fuchsia. When you're applying the stripes of fiber to the board, it's a good idea to overlap the edges of one color to the next. This provides a smoother change in between the colors and creates more of a gradient effect. If you're having trouble applying the fiber to the board, make sure the teeth of the carding cloth are pointing upwards. In this case, the teeth are pointing to the left, so that it grabs the fiber as I'm drafting it over the board. I've also found that instead of trying to draft one big chunk of fiber onto the board, breaking it up into smaller pieces makes it easier to get a more even layer of fiber across the board. As you can see, I've continued along the gradient, adding the purple and magenta merino silk blends and the navy merino wool. Next up is the jungle green silk. As I'm putting it on the board, I'm realizing that I spread the colors out a little too much and I won't have enough room for the last color if I put all of the silk fiber in one spot, so I've added some of this color to the rest of the board where the fiber is a little thinner. Don't worry about the gradient. This just makes the Rolags a little more heathered and complex. Last to go on is the seafoam merino silk blend, and now it's time to brush this layer down. This just pushes the fiber farther down the carding cloth so that we can fit more fiber onto the board. The next layer is the white undyed Corriedale wool. I always add a white layer to my Rolags. You don't notice it much in the finished Rolag, but it really makes the other colors pop, while also giving the Rolags a more heathered look. Then a quick brush to get it to lie flatter, and now for the last layer. What I'm putting on the board now is a small piece of Color Me Happy that I've separated from the rest of the hand-dyed braid. I always like to add some of the hand-dyed braid that I'm making the Rolags for to ensure that all of the colors in the braid are represented in the Rolags. This ensures a more seamless pairing between the two, which is important to me because I plan to spin the Rolags and braids separately and then ply them together. As you can see, the color changes of the hand-dyed braid are corresponding more or less with the colors I applied to the board in the first layer. In the spots where the colors don't match up exactly, the Rolags will have a more complexity of color while still maintaining the overall gradient, which is a quality that I strive for in my combinations. At this point, again, I've realized that I'm running out of space on the board because I spaced out the beginning colors too generously. You know what this means? Adding more contrasting colored fiber to the thinner spots on the board for more complexity of color. This just goes to show you shouldn't worry too much about mistakes because a lot of the time they just make your finished product even more beautiful. Now it's time to roll these babies up. I like to lift the fiber out of the teeth at the bottom of the board and draft it out a little bit to help get the Rolags going. Then I sandwich the fiber between my metal dowels, in this case metal knitting needles. Slide them to the end of the fiber and holding the dowels firmly together, begin rolling and then drafting and then rolling. If you get any fiber stragglers that just want to stick in the cloth, you can lift them out by hand and smooth it down over the other fiber. Once you feel like you have enough fiber on your dowels, roll everything around in your hands to smooth down the ends of the fiber and slide them off the dowels. And there she is, our first gorgeous heathered gradient Rolag. I'm so happy with how these colors came together. For the next Rolag, I like to use my brush to help get the ends of the fiber out of the teeth and ready to roll. Again, draft the ends out a little, sandwich the fiber between the metal dowels, and begin drafting and rolling. It's always a little hard at the beginning, but be patient and eventually all of the fiber will draft evenly. If you're still having trouble getting the fiber to come off the board smoothly, another trick I found is just before you draft the fiber out to roll it up, flick the fiber up and out of the carding teeth just the teensiest bit. You can see me do it here, just the smallest flick of the wrist before drafting the fiber out through the teeth and rolling it up. And that's it for Rolag number 2. Roll up the flyaway fibers and slide them off the dowels. I personally am a very tight Rolag roller, so metal dowels are very important for me because they're slipperier than wooden dowels. In my experience, wooden dowels grip the fiber and make it impossible for me to slide them out of my Rolags. Now I'm prepping the last of the fiber on the board for the third and final Rolag. The final Rolag is always a little tricky because the ends of the fiber can get unruly. Here you see I'm having trouble with the fiber not drafting smoothly, so I'm going to use my fingers to draft those trouble spots by hand to get them on the dowels properly. Again, patience is key, and eventually all the fiber will draft evenly. As I near the end of the board, I find that lifting the remaining fiber all the way out of the teeth and recombing it out helps to tame the fibers a little and get them on the dowels more cleanly. The last Rolag still looks a little fuzzy, but it still spins up just the same. And there they are, our gorgeous, heathered, gradient Rolags ready to spin. I sincerely hope this video inspires you in your own fiber journey. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section and I'll respond as quickly as possible. I really love connecting with all you fiber nuts. I just couldn't resist showing you how well the Rolags pair with a full Color Me Happy braid hand-dyed by Inglenook Fibers. Can't wait to start spinning! If you liked this video, hit the like button or subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Instagram at Clarion Call Fiber Arts for more fiber escapades, or you can visit my website for more hand-spun goodies, including the yarn spun from the Rolags we made today. Follow the link below. Happy crafting!